Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 11 of Prime Sports. I'm joined here with Nico as usual.
How's it going, everyone? Good to be back.
All right. It's been a while since we've had our last proper podcast episode. How long ago now? At least a month.
Yeah, ever since I left for Italy.
Yeah. So it's good to be back making episodes for you guys. Today we got a good one. We're gonna talk about something that we probably should have spoken about a while ago now, but it's kind of a good time now that the transfer market's kind of ending, so nothing too much will happen from this point. We're going to talk about the Saudi League. We're going to talk about maybe some problems that are happening in the football world regarding them. What's changing? What's the sport going to be like maybe in a few years regarding that league? Um, yeah, Nico, anything you want to say before we get into it?
No, I think we can go straight into it. It's gonna be kind of like a free for all type of conversation. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and you guys probably will share some of the same thoughts as us. So hopefully we can cover everything for you, and then feel free to add anything in the comments if you want to contribute to the conversation.
There's definitely a lot of topics with this league for sure,
Mhm.
and for a while now too.
Yeah.
Um, I do want to start off. You want to talk about like some of the big name signings that's went there so far?
Yeah, we can talk about the big names. Obviously, everybody knows like they've had some crazy signings this summer. So, do you want to do the honors or do you want me to list off some names and
Yeah,
tell me
we
what
can
you
we,
think?
we can go together. We have the same list. We'll just go down. I mean, obviously the one that's not here, like the first one was probably Ronaldo, right? Like
Yeah.
I have a question to ask you later on, but I won't ask it yet. But obviously he's gone there, and then obviously people like Benzema who won the Ballon d'Or. He literally presented the Ballon d'Or in Saudi Arabia, so that was
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, I know.
That's probably the first and last time they'll ever see that happen in that country. Um,
Yeah.
then Al-Hilal made like so many moves in like a week. They got Ruben Neves, Koulibaly, Mendy. Who else did they get there? Firmino they got there. Milinkovic Savic they got there. Malcolm they have there.
Yep.
Jesus
Um,
Christ.
they
These
got
guys
a lot of
have
players.
Mahrez. They have
Yeah.
Mahrez now. Wow,
I
these
was looking at the
Saint
list. Like,
Maximum. Oh no, that's Al sorry, that's Al Ali, not Al Halal. That's my bad. But
but
still.
I was looking down the list and it's actually insane. You can build like two or even three like super teams with the people that went there. Like it's actually crazy.
They're
It's
the Man
crazy.
City. They're the Man City of Saudi.
I don't think it's ever been done before. Like this many transfers all at once in one summer to
Why do you
one.
think why do you think that's happened though? Because like it's not like they just got money all of a sudden.
Well, you know what though? I heard a story and like I don't think I'm like 100% correct about everything I say right now, but it's something along the lines of the three or four biggest teams in that league are all ran under one ownership kind of, or like not one ownership but kind of like the same
A group?
like the same group that like branches off, and like
It's like
they,
a investor group.
they all get money from the same place. So the main investor chooses where to put his money towards. That's why like Al-Nassr and Al-Hilal are the two biggest ones because
Yeah.
they get most of the money, but they also have like two or three other teams, and that's why like those three or four teams are like doing so much business because they're all under the same owner and they just decided to splash their cash.
Do you think that's also why like teams like buy in waves? It's like one team will buy all like four players and then they won't do anything for a bit, and then like the next team will do like three or four players in a row and
I
then
guess
move
like
on to the next team.
yeah, it's crazy. Like we've seen like some patterns over
Yeah.
the the most recent transfer window with these teams. Like you were saying, like they come in waves. Like one week, Al Hilal will buy like four top players. Then the next week, Al Nasser. Then Al Nasser will take a break, and another team will buy the
Yeah.
the team that Firmino's on. What's it called?
Al Ali.
Al-Ali,
They
though
got him
that
and Mahrez like not
yeah.
too far away from each other, and Saint Maximum as well.
Where did Mane go?
Manny went to Al-Nassr.
Yeah, Al-Nassr. So then, yeah, they bought Mane, and then they bought Brozovic, and then like they do like a bunch of different waves, like you
Yeah,
were saying.
yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's why they try to like focus every week on like a different team. I guess I don't know.
I also forgot to mention when we were listing off Al-Hilal players is that Neymar went there. Have you ever heard of him?
No big deal. It's
What
insane.
what was your reaction when you heard him go there?
I was
Were you disappointed?
honestly, from like the beginning, I was convinced like when I heard the rumors that he wasn't gonna go. So when I saw that he went, I was shocked, mainly because he's not that old, so I didn't expect him to just go to the Saudi Arabian league. Like, with all due respect to that league, but it's in my eyes, it's still, not a top league.
Yeah.
Even though
No,
they have all
I
the
agree.
players,
Yeah.
it's only their first year, and we've seen that these teams are struggling to actually win. If you look at Al Nassr, like they're winless in their first two games of the season with all these big players. So I don't know what to think like when it comes to like big players making the move, but I think honestly what I think is that it's not worth it, especially when you're a player like Neymar at the age that he was when he moved. So
He's 31.
yeah.
And you look at people like Modric, who's 37 and
I
still
mean,
starts
even
for Real Madrid.
at that point, I would even prefer like you go to the MLS
Yeah.
like Messi did. But even then, like you gotta stay in Europe. You're 31. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
that's a little bit. Yeah.
What are you doing? Throwing away your whole like career to like maybe win a few more Champions Leagues. Like 31, you're just coming out of your prime,
Yeah.
but you're still there. Like
And depending who you are, you still could be in your prime.
look at Messi. Look at Ronaldo. How old was he when he left United
37.
last year? 37. Look at Messi too. Like he was just playing in PSG, and he's what 36.
Yeah, I think so.
So
Yeah.
31 is a bit ridiculous to me leaving Europe at
Yeah.
the caliber player that he is. It's crazy to me. But
I guess money talks.
that's the problem nowadays, that money is literally taking over the sport more than it, ever has.
Yeah.
Like how do you see the situation? Like, do you think it's good for the sport, or do you think it's ruining the sport?
I don't think it's ideal. Like we're talking about like the financial dominance that they have.
Yeah, yeah, just like how one team can pretty much, or a whole league pretty much can
Yeah.
take all of Europe's top players.
It's hard to
Um,
say because like how do you stop that?
all
Just
like
like, hey, you can't take our players. But like if you think about it, the Premier League takes players from like smaller leagues almost the same way. But I don't know. I don't know. It's a little
like
bit absurd how much money that's spent, and like you can't do anything about it. Who's gonna say no to that type of money? The club's not
no,
gonna say no because they get a bunch. The player's not gonna say no because they get a bunch.
yeah, like in my opinion, like where the problem really comes in, where like yeah, Premier League teams, they tend to take players from let's say Serie A or La Liga or the Bundesliga. They take a lot of top players from those leagues, but at least there's some negotiation. They're not always like aiming high. Like yeah, they'll offer like 30, 40, 50 million,
It's
60
still
million, whatever, but it's still
reasonable-ish.
reasonable. And I'm talking about Premier League teams without Saudi Arabian ownership. So not like
Chelsea
Newcastle
doesn't count.
or yeah, Chelsea, take them out of the picture because they're
They are a
insane.
Saudi club.
Story. That's a story for another day. Like they're in their own category. Especially after the keeper they just bought today for like 17 million. Never even knew his name
Never even know.
from the MLS.
And Caicedo.
Insane. Uh anyway, going back to what I was saying. The problem comes when these teams show up to the table and they don't even sit down They just put they just put the number on the table,
They
and
just tossed their money bag at their face.
they're like, here's 40 million over market value. Let me have your player. Like,
And then what are they gonna do? Say no?
and then that makes the market values higher because these, mediocre players, let's say, and I'm not talking about even like the top class players that moved. I'm talking about like some like very average players that went for like 20-30 million dollars over their market value. Like that raises the market value overall because other teams are going to be like, well, if he's worth that much, then my player is going to be worth even more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it kind of
It's
ruins
just
the
causing
market.
an inflation.
Exactly, and it ruins the market for everybody, especially the small teams, because now these like small to like mid-table teams, they can't afford to buy not even decent players anymore.
Yeah.
Because even the decent ones are going to Saudi Arabia for like 30, 40, 50 million euros.
There's such a
So,
big gap, like between the rich clubs and the poor clubs now.
and this is just making it worse.
Like when we made that La Liga prediction video, you can check that out. I put a card there.
Yeah.
You were like every team below seventh, they're making like under a mil like purchases,
I was struggling to find players that were being signed for over 1 million euros. It's crazy.
like 700K, and then
Yeah.
Chelsea like 100 mil each for every player they want.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on, the Blues.
It's not even something to be proud of.
I know, dude. Like, I don't even blame, like, what's his face? Nigelsmann, the old Bayern coach, when he was sacked and he was looking for a job. He like rejected Chelsea just because of the way they run the club. Like, I can't even blame him, dude. Like, when that's not like a traditional, like,
And
nothing's
does it bring
traditional anymore.
results? Does
And
it
it
bring
doesn't even bring
results?
results.
No,
Exactly.
it
Like,
doesn't bring results because
just embarrassment,
Look at Chelsea's start to the season. They
buddy.
just lost against West Ham, got completely like pushed around by West Ham.
I know it was his first game, but Caicedo, like, oh my God. Like, I'm not even kidding. When I watched this game, I think he gave away the ball like 7, 8 times, like outside of our box.
Yeah.
He conceded the penalty at the end of the game. We were up a man as well. Like we had a chance to tie it up. And we weren't even playing that bad, like in the first half and all. I don't
Yeah.
know, man. I
I
maybe
don't
it's
want to
too
get
early, but like it's like you said some episodes ago, like the money just sets them up for flops for
That's what I'm
failure.
saying. Like you get these like players that aren't worth the money. You pay them so much, and then when they go to the team, even if they're average, like even if they don't have a bad season, they're considered flops anyway because
They never reached
they're
that like
not worth that money.
exactly.
You're literally setting these players up for failure. And that's why there's so many flops now. If you look at like I said before, the list of the top 10 over $100 million player
Like
euro players.
most expensive in general.
Yeah. Yeah. They're all flops. Most of them are flops. Only like two or three aren't. And those are like
Neymar, I
top
think,
class
is one.
players. Yeah.
Neymar and can't remember the other one, but so many are there, like Lukaku, Coutinho.
So it's insane. It's insane that this is making it even worse and nothing is being done to make the situation better. It's hurting football in general. Like I don't get why nothing is being done to stop it. And people are asking, "Oh, we need the Super League, we need this, we need that." These are all things that are just going to make it worse. People hate UEFA because they say that UEFA is corrupt and UEFA is this and that. But the only thing I have to like stand with UEFA on is the fact that they're against all this like crazy spending from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
But instead of looking at Saudi Arabia, they should look at Europe too. Look at Chelsea. Sorry. Look at Chelsea. Look at
And City used to do it a lot.
Man City used to do it. Now they
Not
got a
so
bit
much now. Not
better.
so much now. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at PSG. Look at who else? Barca buying players
Without
without any
money,
money. Uh, who knows where they're getting this money from?
black market.
I don't know. I just think like they just recently took it out on Juve last season, even though they weren't even the ones to do it the most. Like
I didn't even know that they were doing anything
I
illegal.
guess it's just because they got caught, but they definitely know that these other teams are doing something, but they're not doing anything about it because it's their jewels, it's their big
Yeah.
teams, and you can't touch them.
And they're making the league's money with their teams.
Yeah.
Even though this is a Saudi episode, it's like kind of important to talk about how money is just taking over. Cause like,
Well, yeah, and also because a lot of European teams are under Saudi
yeah,
ownership.
exactly. It's just like a matter of it's not even like a bidding war anymore. It's just the top clubs will give how much they want, and it doesn't even affect them because they're loaded anyways. So you just give what everyone else can't. And we
Mhm.
keep using the Chelsea example, but it's true. Like who's gonna pay 100 or how much did they pay for like Mudryk? Like plus 80 mil, right?
Yeah,
Who's
it
gonna
was like
pay that?
close to 90. That's
No
insane.
one's gonna do it. But if Todd puts enough money, he's his anyways, and he doesn't even care about how much he spends because he's loaded. So
They just throw money without reasoning,
yeah,
without anything. It's such a stupid business move for them too. Like I don't understand why they do that. Really, when they can clearly get them for cheaper just with a bit of negotiation. It's like they don't have time for like negotiating the price. They're just like, here, take my money. I don't
take it and go.
yeah.
Do you
Um
think like anything like do you think it can even be fixed? Like how can this be fixed? You put a
I
limit
think
to how much you spend, but
well, I mean, in Saudi Arabia, that's not under UEFA's jurisdiction, so they can't
true.
really do anything.
Yeah.
Um I mean, they could put a ban on them. Actually, I feel like they could
Like
ban
from your like buying players
from
from Europe.
outside. Like they can no, I'm saying they can ban teams from outside of Europe to buy their
That would be
players
bold. That would be pretty like MLS then can't get anything.
or just
Unless you
ban
just
Saudi.
Saudi Arabia.
But then that kind of seems like,
That'll
a little
start a war.
discrimination
That'll
against them.
that'll start a few protests.
So I don't know. And it's crazy because it seems like there needs to be okay, here's the thing, okay?
Mhm.
I think there needs to be a governing body, kind of like FIFA, for example, but just for finances that governs
Every single transfer.
all of the world's leagues. Okay, this is a very ambitious idea, but hear me out. I've been thinking about this for a while. So there's this governing body that governs all of the world's soccer leagues,
Mhm.
or at least the biggest ones, like, the top 10, let's say, or the top 20, whatever
Yeah.
it be. And this governing body makes sure that all the teams are in line. They set a specific transfer limit that you're allowed to spend every year. So let's say you can't spend more than 200 million, something like
In
that.
like in one
Something,
window.
yeah, like yeah, per window. Like it doesn't have to be drastically low, like 100 million, because I think 100 million is pretty low.
Yeah.
Because when you think
That's you
about like
saying that.
no, but like I'm saying like in total, for
Yeah,
one
true. Like
player that's a
multiple
lot, but
transfers.
in
Yeah, yeah,
total,
yeah.
so I think let's say like 150 or like 200 million. Make a cap that's kind of reasonable for like big teams to still have enough money to like spend
Yeah.
crazy. You like if a
And
team
maybe
wants to
for
spend like
each league, it would probably be a little different. No, like the Premier League would have a bigger cap than like the
no,
Eredivisie.
no. I think it should be the
Everyone has the
same.
same.
It should be the same so that it's fair.
But like teams like AZ is not gonna even reach the full cap of spending because they
Doesn't
don't spend that
matter.
much, or
Yeah,
unless they're provided that
doesn't
money.
concern them. No,
Oh, okay,
no,
sorry,
that it doesn't
sorry.
concern. It doesn't concern them. I'm saying just set a thing where if you go over the 200 million,
Yeah,
you're gonna be fined. That's it.
no, no fine, because then people just pay that off.
Yeah, but it's gonna be
Suspend them.
or ban them from
Yes,
the
or
next window.
point deductions or something.
I think yeah, like they're whatever they want to do, they can do. as long as it punishes them enough for them to be like, damn, I'm not gonna do that anymore.
I've learned my lesson.
Yeah.
Because if you put a
So
fine, Todd will be like, "That's okay."
I'll spend 500 million plus pay the fine.
I'll ask my landlord to raise my rent. That's how much I care.
So this governing body needs to set kind of like
A
a
cap.
limit that they can spend, a cap,
Yeah.
and then a set of consequences for breaking the rules.
Yeah.
And I
I
think that if they do that, that's the only way to really like stop all this. Also, set the cap on wages too. Not like on wages like that you can have. Like, how do I explain it for you?
like
Like,
how much you give for one player in their contract.
yeah, just for one player, not like an overall
Yeah.
like wage that you can't like
Budget. Yeah.
not
Yeah.
like the NHL, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not
Yeah.
like a salary cap, but
But how
instead
much
it's
you can
like
give a player in their contract?
yes, because that would stop agents and stuff from like requesting crazy insane deals, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like 200 million a year.
Like
A player
Mbappe
shouldn't be
700. What was this? 776 million.
a player shouldn't be making over 50 mil, and that's still a lot.
I know. What are
Um,
I love I love the sport and I wish I could play it, but like it's a little ridiculous how much they make. Considering it's just if you think about it, it's literally entertainment.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to me that it's gotten to this level. It became from a sport, it turned into literally, I don't know, business, just business. That's
Yeah.
all it is. It's just a business. It's nothing else than that.
No
Like,
more passion.
yeah, literally, no passion, no aggression.
No mindset.
No. Anyway, is there anything else you want to add on the
That
topic
finance
of
stuff.
what to no of like how to make it better?
No, I think you hit it right on the nose. I think that's a good idea. Like limit how much you can spend. Then you'll use that money wisely. Maybe you'll try and make some cheaper deals, like maybe get a young guy for 5 mil, and hopefully that plays out of his value or whatever.
Mhm.
Obviously, you can spend that big like 80 mil signing, whatever that you want to make, and obviously it'll fix how much players are worth. Like there will
Yeah,
be more of a system of how much a player is worth, rather than you
because
just the standard 100 mil plus. I should get him at this rate. There's
mhm,
more of a system where like this player's worth around this much.
mhm. Yeah, because if you're on a budget, then that means you're gonna spend your money smarter, and you're not gonna buy that random player for 100 million. So his value is gonna go down
Yeah.
because no
And
one's gonna buy him.
if you do spend like over the top on a guy, then that'll everyone will know how much of a, you know, not great negotiator you are or
Yeah,
not a good spender you are, then that'll like people will learn more about you and stuff like that. And
because then you waste your transfer budget on that one guy,
yeah,
and let's say he flops. Well, now you can't spend more money, and your whole team is gonna flop, not just him.
yeah.
So
I
it
have a
kind of
question.
screws your whole team, you know. I think it should actually be transfer budget or transfer cap for the whole year instead of just one transfer window, because then
That'd be
it's
smart too.
your
Then you
next
really
guy.
got to think about it.
Yeah.
What would you think? Like, you obviously brought the idea of the cap. Like, what would you think? Because people always complain. Doesn't matter what it is.
Hmm.
What do you think people would complain about if they added that rule?
They
Like,
would
oh, it's
complain.
not traditional anymore.
They would be like, "Oh, you're
Don't
turning it
Americanize it.
into." Yeah, they'd say Americanizing, Americanizing, Americanizing. I agree with the fact that like we shouldn't Americanize the rules in the game
Yeah.
itself. But in terms of financing and stuff like that, America is doing a damn good job at, regulating their sports because they're keeping them sports. Yeah, there's the business side on the side of things. Of course, America is known for its business and, teams
Yeah.
are a business. But I think the football situation in Europe has gotten to the point where it's just disgusting how much of a business it has become
Yeah.
compared to like MLS or NFL or MLB or NBA, whatever league you want to say, whatever sport league you want to compare it to. At least here, they're still considered sports. They still have an aspect of sport.
Yeah.
But in Europe, it's literally all become a business. Everything, down to even the players playing on the pitch.
Yeah. And why do you think the sports in North America are like a lot more competitive? Because if you think about it, the if you really think about it, the
No,
richest
yeah,
teams win in soccer. The richest
yeah.
teams win.
I
In
was just gonna tell you, like
Yeah,
the literal reason why is because they have these caps that
everyone is
force,
even playing field,
yeah,
depending on how
they're
you
all,
scout,
yeah, they're all on an even playing field. They all force teams to you know
use your brains.
use their brains, spend the same amount of money. I
They
also
really gotta work on
kind of
their.
with the idea that like all the teams should have a certain budget. You know what I mean? Like if you want to play for this league, you should have this much money. So like
Oh,
imagine
so like
every
Luton Town wouldn't be in the Prem, basically.
no, well, you would provide them with the money.
Oh, okay.
Find a way. Get better investors, make the money up. Get sponsorship deals, make the money up. Let's say every team starts with 100 mil to spend.
100 mil? Frosinone gets relegated. Here's 100 mil. Where do they get that from? Audiences, viewership.
Just for playing in the top league, you get 100. Dude, Premier League teams, they get almost 100 million, even if they come last from all the TV deals.
Oh, do they?
Yes,
You're the finance guy, so
the
you,
last place team in the Premier League can literally afford to spend 100 million on a player. I saw a list of the money that they get in all the positions. If you come last, you get like 80 mil or something like that.
and I
Like you get
guess
some stupid amount.
I guess the reason why they also don't you don't see them spending that is because they need it for other things like upgrading the club.
Yeah. Or their man or their sorry, their owner's just greedy and he just takes the money
Yeah, or
himself.
that. That probably does happen.
Maybe everyone starting with 100 mil is a bit too drastic, but let's say like everyone starts with 50 mil. Like
Yeah.
when you go to Serie A, you get 50 mil. That gives you enough money to like go and spend on a decent player or decent amount of players. So at least those small teams have a good budget to start, especially like Premier League teams don't need that money. Not even the last place team needs that. But
Yeah.
like leagues like Serie A, La Liga, Bundesliga, they need that help. They need that help. So maybe just
Yeah.
offer those leagues that help because that would really help them be more competitive.
I agree, lad. So, lad, do you think we talked about how all these players are coming in now to the Saudi league, like Benzema, whatever? We talked about a whole bunch.
Mm.
Um, do you think Ronaldo is the reason for that? And before you answer that, let me should I say what I think or should I'll let you go. Go say what you think about when people say that. Because I know what I'm gonna say, and yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Um, do I think Ronaldo's the reason for it? No.
And why? Obviously, it's a podcast.
I think the money's the reason for it
Okay.
because
Go ahead, go ahead. Finish your
everyone could have gone to the Premier League or everyone could have gone to Serie A or everyone could have gone to La Liga, but they didn't because there was nobody bringing those players in. But I think everyone's going to the Saudi league. Yeah, okay, Ronaldo had a little influence on. Okay, here's the thing. Ronaldo had influence on the the investors investing their money into the league, which brought in the players with that money. But I don't think he's the direct reason that the players go there. I think it's like a secondary thing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I was
Ronaldo
gonna
brought
say
in
that,
the
yeah.
interest that brought in the money that's bringing in the players. But I
Because
don't think the players are coming just for Ronaldo.
yeah, like they're like, oh, he's there, I can go there. It's more like this is what I think. I think like if Ronaldo didn't go there, like I don't think all these players are going, but I don't think they're going like you said because it's him. I think I think it's almost like a thing where obviously the money is the money. It's hard to reject that. But like you said, investors are now like trying more, like, oh, it's possible to bring these players over.
Mhm.
And I also think the players think too, like, oh, if this guy, one of the best scorers ever, one of the best players ever, is going there, maybe it's okay for me to take the money route. Maybe there's not as much shame to take the money route or something like that.
Yeah, but that guy's going near the end of his career. You're
True.
going when you're
There's
20.
people like Neymar going for like 31. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. I think it's just the money. I don't think it has anything to do with Ronaldo.
Because you would see people going to MLS. It was
Exactly.
for the player.
Like everyone would be joining Messi at Miami, but no.
There were just his teammates though, ex
But the
teammates.
thing is, like, if the teams aren't looking for these players, then the players aren't going. The players don't decide where they want to go. The teams want them,
Yeah.
and then they go. That's why I'm saying the money changed it because the money is bringing in all the players because the teams go to the players and say, "Hey, I want to buy you." They go to the team. They're like, "Here's 50 million. Give me this average player here. I'll give you 20 million a season." They're like, "Yeah, sure, I'll come. 20 million. I'll finish my 4-year contract and then I'll go back to Europe when I'm 25." Like,
Yeah, exactly. I would say though, like I don't think all these players do it without the Ronaldo transfer first. Because that seems to be what started it all.
but I'm telling you, but they don't look at Ronaldo.
No, I know, but I'm saying other transfers wouldn't happen if like
Well, no, they wouldn't happen because the investors wouldn't
yeah,
invest as much into it.
yeah. Because
So
otherwise
yes,
it would have
yes,
it would have been happening already, no?
Ronaldo started everything because he brought in the attention and the money.
Because also when a player like that goes to Saudi who has like no football history ever, like that's gonna cause a couple headlines.
But I'm just saying, like, if they took the risk and instead of waiting for someone like Ronaldo to come and like make them invest the money, and they just invested it like blindly for no reason, they're just like, okay, let's put all this money into this league and then hope that players will come.
True, yeah.
I think it would have still
It's like a
happened.
marketing thing, if anything.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
think it would have still happened the exact same way,
yeah,
even if Ronaldo wasn't there and they were putting in all this money just because they wanted to without Ronaldo there, they would still be bringing in all these players.
yeah. Yeah, they have a load of money. There's no doubt about
But you know what? I think the fact that all of these players are now there makes it even more easier for a player to decide.
it. Yeah.
Because okay, Ronaldo's like one guy and he was retiring and you could kind of see him going.
Yeah.
But now you're seeing all these young players going there. So it kind of makes the decision even easier for all the other
Yeah,
young players because
because
they're like, oh, look at all those young players going there and they make so much money. Why not go?
you got it right there. I was just about to say that, like, oh, and I can still play with some players. Like, it's not like you're just going there and like, oh, that's it. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
play meaningful footy anymore.
yeah.
But
Maybe
at
not for a
least,
meaningful trophy,
yeah,
but
not
but
the
yeah.
Arab Cup, lad. I love how it's shaped like a World Cup as well.
It's like, oh, on this side you have Messi. I won a lot of Champions Leagues. I won the Ballon d'Or. I won this. I won that. Super Cup, whatnot. FIFA Club World Cup. And then you have a guy who's like, hey, I won 10 Arab Cups. You tell me what sounds more impressive.
Yeah,
No
you got it there,
offense.
lad. That brings me to my next question for you. Do you
Mhm.
think with all the players that they're bringing in, like actual solid players, like not even just the Neymars and stuff, like Mahrez, Ruben Neves, Milinkovic Savic, these are like solid players that are still like prime or like close
Mhm.
to that,
Yeah.
not like retirees or super young
Mhm.
guys. Like, do you think if more of that happens, do you think the Saudi league could become a top five league? Which is crazy for me to say.
Well, if like you can have as many players as you want, but if the quality doesn't show off, then no. But I think if people actually start watching these games, people even outside of Saudi Arabia,
Yeah.
and they start tuning in, the viewers start going up, the quality actually looks good. Like let's say like people prefer to watch the Saudi league over an MLS game
Mm-hmm.
or Portuguese league game or a League One game or a Bundesliga game or
Small
whatever.
European countries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then I think you can make the the claim that yeah they'll be a top five eventually, but until we start seeing some quality in terms of like entertainment,
Yeah.
I don't think so. Like just players going isn't gonna make a huge impact. Like for example, right? All these big players going to Chelsea, and then you see their performance on the field. And yeah, okay, they have all these big name players, but who cares? Because
Yeah.
when you watch
Nothing.
Chelsea,
Nothing.
you want to
Nothing to
cry
show.
your eyes, you want to scratch your eyes out and cry. Um,
Hey, hey, hey.
but it's not necessarily like all like putting a bunch of players, really good players on the same team. It doesn't always bring good results.
Yeah.
So you have to see. Like if it does pay off, if these teams start playing really good football, then people are gonna watch it and it's eventually going to become a top league. That's what I
Here's a good
think.
example. PSG, they had all these top guys together. What happened?
Exactly. Like no one really even wanted to watch PSG.
Oh, yeah. Even with the star power of Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi,
Did anybody,
I think I watched one PSG game.
especially in Ligue 1, did anybody tune into PSG games in Ligue 1 just to watch their stars? No, because it was boring.
Yeah.
Also, you got to say like yeah, there's these 4 or 5 teams in the Saudi Arabian league that are getting all these big players, but what about the rest of the teams?
There's like two halves to this table now. There's like
So
the bottom 10 that's no one heard of, and then like the top six that
So that kind of like recreates a League One type of situation where
yeah.
you have these stacked teams, or well, in League One it's just one stacked team, but same thing because it's so like double
One-sided.
sided.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean so one sided because no, I meant to say it's so one sided because there's two sides
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
where you have like four really, really, really strong teams, and then you have the rest of the table. It's
Yeah.
just
Just
horrible.
making up numbers.
So is it going to be entertaining watching these teams winning 5, 6, 7-0
No.
against these like small teams?
Unless every single team starts buying. But you said like this is all from the same investment
I'm
groups.
saying so like
Unlikely.
if they all, but at the same time, if they all start doing it, like it just adds to the problem.
To the problem of
You have
what we were
more
just
teams
talking about
taking,
earlier.
you have more teams taking away from Europe.
And
So
also it's not like Saudi's providing like some top class Saudi talents from the youth
that's
academies.
what I'm saying. Like that's something you brought up a great point actually. That's something that they gotta start doing. Put that money towards
Some youth.
development.
Or maybe players coming to Saudi maybe starts like motivating some kids. I don't know. It is a global game, so you never know. Maybe like far in the future though, like
Like
10
maybe like
years from
20, 30 years, you'll see like Saudi Arabia as one of the top soccer nations.
now. They do
But
compete in the World Cup. Like they did beat Argentina. So
they
who knows?
did pretty good in the World Cup. So that's what I'm saying. Like
So who knows?
maybe this will be good for their country as a soccer nation. But
Let's hope it's more of a like a building thing than rather like they just keep buying players and hopefully they
yeah,
can actually build their own sort of empire there.
because like I have nothing against them making their own like league, like being successful. That's what I want for soccer. I
Yeah.
want it to be global. I want every country to have their own league that like is huge, and I want there to be like 50 top leagues. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's more stuff to watch, more stuff to be entertained by. But when you have where I almost dropped everything. But when you have one league taking away from another league, then that's where you kind of
Just
like
it's not
start raising
traditional.
your eyebrows and it's like, oh well, that's not really contributing to much.
Yeah. You're right, lad. Anything else on that topic?
Not unless you want to add something.
No. I think that's good. Like let's hope they can build their own thing rather than just keep taking. The other day I read something. I can't remember. I think it was goal.com. I read that there is some speculation that in the future there could be Saudi clubs in the Champions League. First of all, I want to say that's absolutely stupid. That doesn't make any sense. Bending the rules for the first time ever, because why? Because there's a lot of money, and I just don't want to. Like, we just finished saying how, yeah, you can bring all the players you want, but like that's still not traditional. It's still like not the right way to do it. They're not a European club. You
It's
don't
like
you don't bring
who
MLS teams there. You don't bring like Mexican teams there. You don't bring any other like
who
competitive other leagues outside Europe there. So
who was that one team? I forgot if it was the Euros or if it was the Copa America who had that like one team that was
oh,
outside of.
I think Copa America had Qatar.
It was Qatar,
Yeah.
right? That's what I'm thinking about. Why?
I don't know. I think it was because they were having they were hosting the World Cup soon, but it doesn't make any sense because they're not that's not part of the competition.
It's not even close to that area. It's like
They're like on
opposite
minus
side of the
12-hour
world.
difference. So yeah, like
So
would you be pretty fed up if that went through?
yeah, I think UEFA should be doing everything in their power to like help with the problem with what I said before. So if they include these teams, you're just making it worse.
Yeah.
Like you're literally adding to the problem. So I hope they're smart enough and they don't do it. Uh but yeah. They have their own Champions League, no?
I think it was the Arab Cup, no? I think that's what it
Yeah.
was. Oh no. Oh yeah, maybe it was because you just have all the teams in like East Asia or whatever.
So why do you have to go into the European one? It makes no
Because
sense.
they need
Spain
more
has
money.
one.
They need more money viewership.
Build it. Build your own viewership. Don't
Yeah.
take from other countries. Like don't don't go in a competition where you have no place being in. No offense to them, but you don't have place being in the Champions League. All these teams have been in the Champions League for so long.
Yeah.
Why do you deserve to buy yourself into it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like just buy your way into everything. Like no, that's not how it works. You got to keep traditions.
Also, disregarding all the, like not traditional way of moving on with football in the future, but like, do you think these clubs could even compete in the Champions League? Like, let's actually think about this. Like Al-Hilal, right? They have the team that they have. They have like who with it? Neymar, Milinkovic, Savic, Neves, Mendy, whatever. Oh no, Mendy's not there, but whatever. All these like players all around Europe, they come together. Do you think they could like get a win in the Champions League? Like they come up against some team in Poland, like they finish third in their group or something. Then what? Do they go to the Europa League?
I don't know.
too
I don't
much,
know.
too much for you
I
to
don't know.
digest.
Yeah. No, I just think we shouldn't even be considering that. We should that shouldn't even be a question. Just don't give
Imagine
them
talking
ideas.
about this. Imagine talking about this 1 year ago. Should
Don't
Saudi clubs be in the Champions League?
whatever you do, don't give them any ideas, please. Because they will consider it.
Well, I read this, so wasn't my idea.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
We can
I,
agree though that we hope it doesn't happen.
yeah.
Yeah, build your own thing. Like that's what we've been saying for the last like what 10 minutes now. Build
Yeah,
your own thing, have your own success, and everyone will be happy for it. People
make
who
your
want to
own
watch will watch.
success.
Yeah.
Exactly. Make your own success. No one will be against it. If anything, you'll build your own viewership. Hell, maybe you'll even be better than the Champions League in like 50 years or something like that. Maybe people will stop watching the Champions League, they'll watch the Arab Cup. Make your own viewership.
Yeah. You never know. There's a big population out there in East Asia, so you never know. You
I
never
don't
know.
get why they have to, buy themselves into something that's been going on for way longer than their time.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree
No
with
offense to them, but at the same time, like
you.
it's not
Do it the right way.
it's just not fair. It's disrespectful towards the other teams in the Champions League.
Especially the historic teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Milan.
Yes. Like
Imagine Al-Hilal in 10 years. They match Milan's Champions Leagues.
absolutely shameful.
Oh, this probably means like we'll see some Champions League finals in Saudi too, maybe. Like we might see some games start being played there. Who knows?
Yeah, probably. Uh,
Anyways, I think we've knocked it out the park with that Saudi talk.
yeah. I think
Uh,
it's been a good talk. We got everything out. We haven't really talked about this conversation much. That's why I think it was a
it
really good
was needed.
episode today.
It was much needed to talk about it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think everybody else probably shares the same opinion as us, if not close to it. I'm really interested to like know what people think about that idea that we brought up on like the whole salary cap situation, which was kind of like separate from the Saudi talk, but at the same time it kind of contributed to it
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's more of like an overall like
Money
all
thing.
of Europe type of thing and like all of the world. Um, but at the same time, yeah, I'm just interested to see what people think about that. I know a lot of people agree with that whole idea, so I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, like they can comment down below or even on our social medias when we spread, the videos around. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we can see everybody's opinion because I'm really interested to like find out what do people actually think should be done.
Get
I
involved.
think that's the big question that we'll take from this episode. We want to know what you guys think should be done to
Yeah.
to save football. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Let us know your opinions.
Yeah,
What will the world of football look like in 10 years?
yeah,
Who knows? All right, lad. Let's wrap it up.
yeah. All right. It's been another episode.
Yeah.
Episode 11 now.
Yeah. We're getting there.
Starting to get up there. Yeah, thank you everybody for listening. It's been one of my favorite episodes to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
Our next episode, I think we want to look into maybe doing an episode on the MLS.
Hmm. That's
That's
good.
what we
We
were
talked about. Yeah.
thinking about. It's gonna be probably about Messi, a lot about Messi.
Yeah.
So
A lot about Messi.
if you're a Messi lover, stay tuned.
Some talk about the league. I guess we could also talk about Apple TV stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. How they
There's a
do
lot of
cover.
conversations that we need
Yeah.
to talk about because that's another league that's coming up
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah.
So yeah, stay tuned for that. Maybe it'll be out sometime next week.
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah, it's been another great episode. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.
Enjoy the rest of your summer.